Most people don't know what autism is, something very important to the deaf community. So we took to the streets of UCLA, and you may be surprised what students around us thought. What is autism?
It's a genetic disorder that's super sad.
Autism.
I know what autism is.
Yeah,
Autism?
autism. No clue.
Same as being deaf.
Probably. Or like it's some sort of like way of being on in some way, you know? Some sort of like
Autism. The notion that one is superior based on one's ability to hear or to behave in the manner of one who hears.
Many people who are ignorant of the deaf community and its rich culture see deaf people as inferior, incompetent, and disabled, and then treat them as such, and they don't even know that this is an issue or that they partake in it. But out of every 1,000 people in the U.S., 2 to 4 are functionally deaf. However, roughly 58,000 adults and 38,000 children have received cochlear implants in the U.S. to date, which reinforces autism.
How do deaf people drive?
Wow, I don't know.
Do you think being deaf is a disability?
Am I allowed to say yes?
Do you think being deaf is a disability?
I think society makes it disabling.
Autism has been around for hundreds of years, most famously practiced by Alexander Graham Bell. Bell believed deafness was a terrible curse to an individual and believed that deaf people weaken society. Bell grew concerned that the numbers of deaf people in America were increasing, and since deafness seemed incurable, Bell focused his efforts on discovering a means of preventing the birth of deaf children. He wanted to enact laws to prohibit all deaf people from marrying each other, such as to forbid sign language in schools, encourage deaf people to use and develop their oral skills, and prohibit deaf adults from being teachers of deaf children.
If you were deaf, would you want to get a hearing device so you could be a part of the hearing community?
yes. That would be on my to-do list.
If you were deaf, would you want to get a hearing device so you could be a part of the hearing community?
Yeah.
Our society attempts to fix the deaf community rather than embracing their culture because they believe that language is an essential component and the deaf community seeks normalcy. In order to rid of autism and to bridge the gap of confusion between the misconceptions about deaf culture, education of the hearing community about the deaf community is pertinent. In the same way racism made the majority examine their belief system, sexism made the majority examine their belief system. Now what is this word? Autism. This word gives the deaf community power to the majority in its rightful place. Most people know...
Autism.
So are any of these questions going to be like in sign language or anything?